Hey guys, I'm recording this after recording the video. Just want to let you guys know that I plan to get an early release version of my test-driven development with Laravel course either late August or early September, and you might want to check that out in the description if you want to get more in-depth content about test-driven development with Laravel. Um, I also have my newsletter. The links are in the description. I always send some cool links that I found throughout the week on Saturdays. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to help me out. Thanks so much. Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we are talking about testing again. My videos always come back to this. My most viewed video is about testing. And today we are going to talk about testing again. This video might be a little bit raw. I'm heading to the airport in a few hours and just wanted to record this very quickly before I go. But I do think it's going to be a very nice video. So I've been wanting to create this little app to manage my stocks. It's really hard to know how much a stock weighs on my stock portfolio. We don't have many apps that do this properly. So for instance, let's say I want to have 30 or 40% of my stocks allocated in banks. It's really hard to see if I need to add a little bit of more of money or if I need to sell some stocks to get to this level, and I want to build this. So we are going to build this little stock tracker app. It's going to be totally for personal use. The project is going to be open source, so if you guys want to contribute, that's going to be awesome, and we might even make this a real app. But yeah, so I already have a fresh Laravel project here. So before I go to this tab, which I had written some stuff, I just want to let you guys know what we need here. So for first of all, we need a stock. So Apple, or in my case in Brazil, let's say this one is a bank. We need to know operations, so bot, so that kind of thing. And we are going to use this to calculate the balance of the user. So if the user has bought 400 Apple shares and then he sold 200, then he has a balance of 200 Apple shares. And that's basically it. We are also going to have wallets. So I might have a long-term wallet, a short-term wallet. It's just a little bit better to organize. So operations happen inside wallets. Let's just organize this a little bit. What else do we have? I think that's pretty much it. On the stock, we do need to specify the market if we're talking about the NY stock exchange, or if we're talking about the Brazilian stock exchange and all of that. But it's basically that. We also need some way to calculate the stock price at a given time so we can compare stuff. We might even be able to do this on the operations. I don't know. I don't really want to update this every second, especially because there aren't many public APIs that do this. So let's try and update it something like every 10 minutes. We don't really need to have all that information. We basically need the opening and the closing prices, except for the given day. On the current date, we do need to have more information, but on the previous days, basically we care about the closing price. And that's pretty much it, I think. And a couple of things that we're going to need is to have those numbers. We need to have the average price for a stock. So for instance, if I bought one apple at, let's say, $10, and then I bought two apple at $20, my average price is going to be 1 times 10 plus 2 times 10 divided by the amount of shares I have, which in this case is 3, right? So my average price here is, 20. I bought at 20. My average price here is 50 divided by 3, right? Which equals something like this. We need to know this. We need to know our average price on a given stock, and we need to compare it to the current price to know if we are making a profit or not. So what I like to do when doing this sort of stuff is, before I even write some code, I like to type in a little bit and see what I'm going to need. And sometimes it's easier to figure this out by doing something like this than writing code. When you go to write code, you already have you already know what to test and the expectations. If you've watched my previous videos on testing, you know that tests are all about what you expect and what you get. And if we write a test based on this is already a test. We can convert this to a test, and we can make sure we get the proper results. Now, the profit for a given stock is a little bit more tricky because I'm not going to take into account what you sell. So for instance, let's say you had 100 Apple shares and you sold 50 at $100, and now it is 120. I don't want to take that in account. I might be wrong, but I think brokers don't really do. So the profit is the stock price. Just makes sense. Oh yeah, it's wrong here. It would be the remaining stocks, stock price, minus the remaining stocks and the average price. Remaining stocks means if you had 40 buy operations, then you had 20 sell, you now have 200 remaining. I don't know if that makes sense. I might be wrong on this. If you know the proper formula, you're free to correct me. But what we've written here already creates two tests. This is really, really helpful. I find it much easier to convert this test than write the test itself. So we are going to start by testing this. And when I do test-driven development videos, I usually start with controllers, but I think I'm going to start with this here today. Actually, let's start with controllers. First of all, I know that I have to create those models, so let's create it. Model, we need a stock with a migration. We need a wallet, migration and factory and all of that. We need a operation with all of that as well. So let's go to the create stocks file. I know that I want a name. I know that for now, let's just make this a string. I want to mark it. And let's say I might want the current price. I'm not sure if it should be float, but let's just go with float for now. So let's do current price. This would ideally be on another table, but let's keep it here for now, at least for this proof of concept. On the wallets, I just want a name, and I think that's it. We want to tie it to a user, so let's do unsigned integer, user ID. That's it. For the operations, we want an operation to be tied to a stock, so let's do stock ID. We want it to be tied to a wallet, which will then in turn be tied to a user, so we don't really need let's set it anyway just to make things easier, a user ID. Okay, so we already have a rough idea. We also need a type to either be a buy or a sell operation, and we want a price, so price, and a quantity, so I think that's it really. We have the stock, we have the quantity, we have the price, we have the type. So for now I'm going to go through the operation model. Let's add the fillable fields. Type, quantity, price, stock ID, wallet ID, and user ID. I'm also going to add a const by const sell equals sell, kind of a enum here. What else do we need? We need to add the relationship, so it belongs to a stock class. It belongs to a wallet. And what else? It belongs to a user, right? Okay, cool. So we have this setup. I'm going to set up my PHP unit XML real quick. I think this is already, oh, it's just commented out. That's great. Let's just uncomment this, use SQLite. What else we need? We have the stocks. Let's go to the stock model. It doesn't belong to anything. Let's add a fillable name, market, and current price. Let's check Apple's current price. Okay, 462. Okay, what else we need to create? The wallet model. Okay, create wallets. Let's see which fields we need. We need to have a name. What else? We need, it belongs to a user, so belongs to user. Perfect. It has many operations as well. This is wrong. Let's fix it. Operations, it has many. Okay, cool. I want to do another change. I want to tie an operation not to a wallet, but to a given stock, to a given let's see how we can do this. I don't know how to call it. Basically, I want the user to be able to add stocks to their wallet instead of just doing operations. I want to add a middleman there. Oh, this is hard. Let me go to the create operations. What we are going to do is I'm going to create a model called wallet stock. Does it sound good? No, it does not, but that's what I can think of, and I forgot to create a migration, so let me delete this. So we are actually going to say this is going to belong to a wallet stock ID. We can get rid of the stock ID because we have that on the wallet stock ID. So a wallet does not have operations, instead it has stocks, and this is really what would a belongs to many relationship would be, but we are adding a model in the middle. Adam Wadden has a great blog post about this. I'm going to link it in the description. So you're going to say it has many wallet stocks. On the wallet stock migration, we are just going to add the foreign keys. So this looks exactly like a belongs to many relationship, a pivot table. This is a pivot table, but we have a model. So we're going to say stock ID and wallet ID. Okay, perfect. Wallet stocks. An operation belongs to a wallet stock. Okay, that looks good. Let's change this to wallet stock ID. Perfect. Okay, so I think we have the database schema set up, and I want to write a test already. What I want to do is I'm going to create a test. It's a feature test. I'm going to create a test for a controller. So I'm going to say controllers, wallets, stocks controller. I want to have a controller where I can search for a specific stock and see my average price, my profit, and all of that. So stocks controller test. Let's create a controller as well. Stocks controller. So before we write in code, let's go here, and the first thing I want to write is this one. So I want to write a test to make sure. We're actually going to write another test for this, but for now, let's say it generates the correct average price for a given stock. If you don't know what this means, I suggest you watch my video on test-driven development. It's a introductory video, but we're basically saying this is a test, it's a notation. So what we want to do on this test is, first of all, let me split my screen here. I hope you guys can see it all right. And let's go back to, actually, I'm going to do the following. I'm going to copy this, add it here, comment this out. Okay, perfect. Let me just okay, so here's the situation that we want to describe. Buys 10 Apple stocks at $10. Buys 30 Apple stocks at $15. Average price should be, let's do some calculation here. 10 plus 30 at 15 divided by 40, so 1365. Okay, so first we need a user. We're going to use a factory to create the user. Create. If you don't know what a factory is, watch the video. We also need a stock, so let's say factory stock. Do we have a stock factory? No, we do not. Let's make it. Okay, let's leave this empty for now. Stock, it's going to be Apple. Current price, let's say it's 12, even though we know it's 462. What else does the stock need? Market. The market is NASDAQ. Okay, so something's wrong here because it's not formatting the code. Oh, here. I want to dump and die this, so I'm going to run vendor bean PHP unit. No, I forgot to add a use refresh database to run my migrations and all of that. Let's run this. No such table stocks has no column named stock. I think it's name actually. Let's change this to ticker. That's how it's called. So name now becomes ticker. Let's go back to our test. The ticker is going to be this one. Let's run it. What? It's not a sticker. It's ticker. Okay, now we see the object. Cool. That's right. That's perfect. We have the stock. So we also need a wallet. Let's create a wallet. It's going to be named long-term wallet. It's going to belong to the user. Let's dump this. Let's see if it works. No column named 0. What? Oh. Okay, we see it. We also need a wallet stock, right? So we're going to say stocks create stock ID. If you don't know what I'm doing here, I'm using a relationship. So when I call stocks from within the wallet model, it already adds the foreign key, the wallet ID automatically. That's what it's doing. And I'm passing the stock ID as well. Actually, let's refactor this already and let's say add stock. And let's just pass the stock object. Now, take a look at this. If I run this, it is going to fail. We don't have this method. But if we go to wallet and do add stock, we expect a stock. We're going to return this. stock IT. Perfect. Add stock IT wallet stock. Oh, okay. Let's add it to mass assignment. See how the test's already guiding us. So it already said that we need to do this. Wallet IT, stock IT, break a line here. Okay, now it works if we wallet stock. If we dump and die this, we get what we wanted. Let's go to the wallet stock and add the relationships as well. So it belongs to a wallet. And it belongs to a stock. Okay, cool. So we already have the wallet stock. Now we need to do some operations. So I'm already going to create a few tests, but we want to encapsulate behavior into methods. I think that's really useful. So let's say we want to, what is the situation? We buy one apple at 10. Then we buy two apple. No, it's actually this one. So let me get rid of this. We buy 10 apple stocks at $10. And let me just put this here. You don't have to get rid of this. Those usually explain your code, so it's very good. So let's do first buy operation. And let's say wallet stock buy 10. We want the user to be able to input the price they bought it or use something automatically. So let's just pass this right now. For instance, I might have bought something 2 days ago and the stock price changed. So we want the user to have this ability. We want to buy 30 at 50. Okay, cool. After that, we want to make a call to acting as the user. We want to call wallets stocks show and pass the wallet and the wallet stock. I think that looks okay. It's not a post, it's a yeah. Let me change this. So just to clarify things, we're saying, hey, make a call to acting as the user, make a call to this route. This is not a testing thing, this is a method within Laravel. It just generates the URL for you. We don't have this route yet, but I'm going to show you guys how I do it. So if we run this call to undefined method wallet stock, so let's add the buy method. So we want to buy amount price. We want both to be integers. So what we are going to do is to a wallet stock has operations, right? So we're going to add the operations here. Has many operations. And we're going to say we want to create an operation. Quantity is going to be the amount. Price is going to be the price. Let me check the operation model, how it looks like. The type, it's going to be buy right now. So I think it's lowercase. Yeah, that's right. It's a buy operation. What else do we need? Wallet stock ID. We don't want the wallet ID anymore. Let me check if this is still, no, it's correct here. We are already passing the wallet stock ID because we are calling the relationship, but we also need to pass the user ID. And to get the user ID, we can do this wallet user ID because it belongs to a wallet. So let's go back to the test and just dump this. It's very common to dump things at tests. This is really useful. So let's run it, and we have an operation. That's great. So we are already type hinting everything. Let's add this one as well. So we have an operation, a buy operation, 10 units at $10. Okay, cool. So we made this call, and we want to make sure we see the following response. We want to see the stock name, which is Apple. We want to see the average price, which is 13.65, and we want to see the quantity we have, which is 40. We also want to, we don't want to have the wallet for now because we already know which one it is. I think that's it. Oh, we also want to see the operations, but I'm going to do this later. I'm going to show you guys how to test resources. So I'm going to give you guys this ahead. The issue, which is not really an issue, but the issue we have right now is that we're testing the JSON that we receive. And if you use Laravel resources, if you change any resource, this test is going to break. So what I like to do is just to assert that we are getting the expected resource with the expected relationships, and then I do a test for the resource itself. So if I change something on the resource, I only change the resource test and nothing breaks. So let's run this for now. Let's see what we get. Okay, root wallet stocks show not defined. Let's go to web and say, let's pass this resource wallets dot stocks, wallets stocks controller, and we only want the show method. Wow, it does. Oh, stocks controller show does not exist. So let's write it. We are expecting a wallet here, and we are expecting a stock, which is a wallet stock. But we're actually going to do this. If you don't know what I'm doing here, when you type hint this and the variable has the same name as the root parameter, Laravel automatically finds the resource for you. So it already knows that you're expecting a wallet. It is going to search for a wallet with the ID that the request is being handled. Let's jump the wallet for now. Okay, we see it. Let's get the wallet stock. Stocks, find or fail. Now, why didn't I do the same thing for this? Because what would happen if you were to pass a wallet and then a wallet stock from another wallet? You would have to use gate here or any authorization library or anything to make sure that the wallet stock belongs to the wallet. But if we receive the ID, only the ID, and then we use the relationship and then use a find or fail, inside the relationship we already make sure that the stock must belong to the wallet. Otherwise it's going to throw a 404. So what did we expect? I'm going to split my screen just so I can see the test as well. So we expected a JSON response with the stock name. So we are going to say stock name. This property does not exist. The average price, which is going to be wallet stock average price, and the quantity stock quantity. Let's do this. So we are calling two methods. I'm going to change this for a method. I was going to use a accessor, but I think it's better to just use a method. Let's run this. Method does not exist, so let's go to wallet stock. Let's say stock name which is the stock, and then its name. Average price does not exist. Let's return 10 for now. Quantity does not exist. Let's return 100 for now. So the test works. I mean, it does a request, but you can see that you expected to find this JSON, and then you got this JSON, which is wrong. The first thing is that I was supposed to use seeker here. So you were supposed to get this, but you got, I'm sorry, you were supposed to get this, but you got this. We see the average price is wrong, and we see the quantity is wrong. So let's fix this. To get the average price, we've already written down the formula. Let's check it. Where is it? Stocks controller test. Average is, so the average price is, let me think of the best way to do this. We are going to get all the operations. Then we are going to reduce it. Then we have operation and the accumulator. This is a short closure. Let me change this to use a regular function, as some of you might not be on a new PHP version. So it has the operation and the accumulator. We want it to start from 0. No, this might not be the best way. Actually, let's change this. So let's do number of stocks. Number of stocks is going to be operations by operations sum quantity minus operations by sell sum quantity. We actually already have, we are going to use this here, so I'm going to pass this. I'm going to say quantity, and I'm going to use this here. Does that make sense? I hope it does. This operations by some quantity minus this operation sell. Oh, this is wrong. Okay, now it's correct. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so that makes sense. All the by operations minus the sell operations with some of their quantities, and we have the final quantity. Where is our formula? I can find it. Where is it? Okay, it's here. Let me copy this just to help a little bit. So then what we need to do is, we already have the number of stocks. We need to go through each by operation and multiply the purchase price by the quantity. So total bought is going to be operations reduce. If you don't know what reduce is, take a look at Laravel's documentation. We're going to pass the operation and the accumulator. We want it to start at 0. Let me check if this is correct. Yeah, callback. Okay. I don't remember which one comes first, so let's check the documentation together. Reduce. Where is it? Reduce. It's the opposite. Carry operation. Okay, so we want it to be carry, and carry just means the total that was in the previous operation. So if this operation returns 2 on the next loop, the carry is going to be 2. Plus we want to multiply the operation price. Let me check if it's price with its quantity. And we actually want this to apply only to buy operations. Okay, that makes sense. And then we want to do total bought number of stocks, and we want to limit this to two decimals. Let me see the API for this one. I do not remember. Decimals 2. Okay, cool. Let's run this. Let's see what we get. Undefined method by. This is we are calling this my method, which is a query scope, and we don't have it. So let's go to operation and add both by query scope. If you know what this is, then you must read Laravel's documentation. We want to say our type is by, and we want to do the same for cell. Okay. Undefined method reduce. Where are we calling? Okay. So here's something. If we call the method, we get a query builder. If we call a property, Laravel implies that we are getting all the records. Basically, this operations equals operations the method get. In this case, we need to apply this query scope. So we are going to say operations by get all of them. Let's try it now. And now the test passes. That's great. So we are getting the proper results. Now, what I would do is I will move this test to a test for the model, for the wallet stock model itself, instead of keeping it in the controller. But what we're going to do right now is we want to plug in a resource. What is the other thing we need to be aware of? The profit. Do we have the profit here? What does the stock? Okay, 12. Let's test this as well. The profit should be we have an average price of 13.75, so minus 12 times the amount of shares we have, which is we have 40 shares. So it would be 75 minus 12 times 40. So it's 70. And that's the profit we've had on this for now. Let's run the test again. It's going to fail. We don't have the profit. But you know what? Let's write this right now. So we want to say profit wallet stock profit. Fails because we don't have the profit method. Let's add it. Let's encapsulate this in another method, total bot. See how much more organized this is. And we can even add some doc blocks. So the total bot of a given share of the shares in the local currency. So we are saying this is supposed to be a number. And let's add this. Okay, perfect. As we are already doing this for all of our methods, we want to add this here as well. So we want to create the profit method. And how do we calculate the profit? I forgot. The profit is this. So we want to do remaining stocks times the average price. Do we have this? Total bot remaining stocks. I think remaining stocks should be quantity, right? So quantity, average price. We have the average price minus. Let's start this into a variable. So we want to say quantity times average price minus quantity times, oh, this is wrong, it's average price here and stock price. So we can say this is stock, we have the relationship, current price, right? Current price, yeah. Okay, so does that make sense for you guys? I think it does. So it's the amount of stocks you have. Actually, we can simplify this. The formula is actually profit per share times shares you have. So we can do return this average price minus the stock current price times the quantity. Does that make sense? Let's run this. And it works. That's great. It works. Now, this video is getting quite long, so what I want to do right now is change this to a resource. So, if you're familiar with resources, we can do wallet stock resource. Is that it? Yeah, wallet stock resource. And then we say return a wallet stock resource. Make wallet stock. Let's copy this. Let's go here. If you don't know what this is, you have to check the documentation or watch my previous videos on testing. We need to change this. Let's see what happens. And you can see it's wrong because now we have a data field. It's all inside this data object. So a quick fix is to just expect it to have this structure. Let me just organize this. And it works. But what I like to do is I like to add this assert resource method. We're going to do this in the next video. And then we can just say wallet stock resource make the wallet stock. That should do the trick. If you're very curious and you want to see how this is done right now, you can go back a few videos. I do have a video on testing resources on Laravel. So this is what we are going to be using. And what we are going to do is write this test, all of our we have several methods in the wallet stock, so we want to make sure we test individually each one of this. And if we test each one of those methods individually, and we also test the resource to make sure it's calling those methods, we'll be sure the resource works perfectly. And then on the controller, instead of asserting the response, we're just going to assert that we got the expected resource, which in turn is actually going to test the response, because inside the assert resource method we are going to convert it to a response and compare them. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope it helps you guys in any way. I really appreciate the support you guys give me. The messages received, those are great. And thank you very much for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll be out of town for a couple of days, so the next video might take 4 or 5 days to come out. But I hope this video gave you guys some clarification on testing and how testing shouldn't be hard, and how you can write those descriptive tests. So you see, it makes sense. You buy 10 Apple stocks, then 30, then you have what the average price should be. But this should be, in my opinion, in the model test, which is what we are going to do on the next video, and test the resource as well. We are going to test each one of those methods individually and make sure they all work. And if they all work properly, that means they work together as well. Thank you guys. Oh, I just lagged. What happened? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe on my newsletter and to the channel, and leave a like. Talk to you all later. Bye.